Hey everybody, Gordon here from Images of Eden once again with another Q&A session. Got another great question. Actually, this question came in from several people, so I wanted to make sure that I did a shout out. Vicky and Ken Wood and Jim Vitu had asked, maybe tell us one of your testimonials, personal testimonial or testimonial of faith. And I have a really good one here that I think is going to be that's gonna speak to you. At least I hope so. It's funny. I used to be a mess back in the day, and I think it's no secret. 1997, I quit drinking after almost dying. I've spoken about this a lot, and even in other Q&As and in different interviews and all. And if you listen to the first Images of Eden album, you will see how kind of like I entered this brand new, beautiful world that I never even knew. Long story behind all that, but there just came a day where I was drinking daily. I mean, I'd wake up in the morning, and I was 25 years old, just turned 25. I'd wake up shaking, September, October of 1997, and I would need something in the morning before I went to work. So I would have to, slam a beer or two or do a shot or something just to take away the shakes. Thankfully, I worked for alcoholics who smelled like liquor anyway when I went to work, so I didn't get fired, didn't even have to worry about that. Hindsight, that was not the best thing, but it's when you try to stay medicated 24/7, it gets very challenging, especially something as destructive as alcohol. It's October 26th, 1997 was the day I woke up, and I said, I can't do this. This is it. This is it. And my faith was decent at best, lukewarm, unfortunately. And I always wanted to believe, but I was not active in prayer at all or anything like that. But that day I woke up and I knew. I said, I'm not drinking again. This is it. It was a Sunday. It was cold. It was gloomy. It was rainy. It couldn't have been more depressing. I'm on my way to work, and I didn't drink this day. I said, I'm not going to do it. Whatever discomfort I have to go through, I'm just going to go through it. And around noon, I'm shaking. Shakes are getting worse. By about 3 o'clock, I'm like almost, like I'm having a seizure or something. So I took myself, some friends took me to the ER. And as soon as I got to the ER, I was about 150 pounds. I'm 183 now. And my blood pressure was 213/186. And if you know anything about blood pressure, any moment I could have gone. The doctor said if you hadn't come in after they admitted me and got my blood pressure down and took my vitals, they said all of your organs were failing pretty much now. So you wouldn't have lasted another 24 hours. So it's a good thing you came in. And but they caught me just in time. They saved me. My mom even called the hospital and said, is he going to be all right? And they said, man, we don't know. So they kept me in the hospital for 3 days and wrung me out. But I had all I can say is an experience in that hospital bed. I felt what I felt was, I'm taking this addiction away from you, and you're never going to deal with it again. And 3 days later, I walked out. Never touched another drink. I know who that was. So that's kind of where my faith kicked in. And it took a little while to take. I had to slip up a couple of more times, not with alcohol, but just life. And but yeah, that's when everything changed. Now, fast forward a little ways. I think all of us musicians, or most of us, we want the rock and roll lifestyle. You grow up, you start playing guitar, you're in high school, you're listening to rock, metal, whatever. That's all you want to do. You want to, get out there. You want to tour. You want the whole rock star, sex, drugs, and rock and roll experience, thinking, okay, that's going to be the best thing in the world. That's the dream. It almost killed me before it even started. So clearly that didn't work. But that being said, the first 3 Images of Eden album, I was chasing the dream still, not the full thing, but I wanted to be out there. I wanted music to be my full-time thing. I wanted it for me. I wanted to be the rock star. I wanted to get out there. It was all about me. I wanted to be the rock star. That's what all of us want. And then I realized it was not about me whatsoever. And during the first 3 albums, when I had this mindset, we didn't really get very far. It was a massive struggle. I mean, here we are, a progressive metal band. We were a 3-piece progressive metal band when we first started playing. And we're playing locally in Baltimore. Original progressive metal in the early 2000s in Baltimore. All we got was opening gigs for established cover bands. So it was a massive, just trudging through the mire. But after the 3rd album, Rebuilding the Ruins, a lot happened. That's why you see a massive, delay between Rebuilding the Ruins and Soulrise. But it was during this time when I realized it's not about me. This isn't about me. This is about the message. This is about a positive message. This is about lifting people. This is about my connection with Him. Now, I'm not preachy. We're not preachy at all. We write about everything that you guys go through, that we went through. We're a band of survivors. Addiction, abuse, PTSD, all of us have had something that we've had to struggle with. So we're telling our story, and our story is about overcoming. It's about hope. It's about inspiration. It's about all those things. But, the common denominator that got me through this and got, I got to say all of us through us, that guy. So, it was right before Soulrise where I had another little low point. I was living out of state at the time, and I just kind of fell into a little bit of a depression. And I just reached up and I said, look, I need you in a huge way. Intervene, because I'm a mess. And He made Himself really well known. And that was when my faith was totally solidified. It was just before Soulrise. I struggled, but I was always seeking. Now, it was crazy because that's when I said to Him, I said, not speaking specifically my musical life, but just me. I'm yours. I surrender. I am yours. You had proven to me that you exist. I know without a shadow of a doubt. Because when you feel that feeling, when you know that God has intervened and He has scooped you up and said it's going to be okay, there is not a more intense feeling in the world. And I know. And if you've had it happen to you, I know you know the feeling. And if you've had that happen, tell me your story in the comments. I'd love to hear some testimonials. That would be awesome. But this is the part that I really want you to pay attention to. We struggled for so many years in Images. And then just before Soulrise is when I said, I'm yours, use me. It's no longer about me. It's about you. I'm living for you. Use me every day of my life. Right after that, we immediately hooked up with Bill Matoyer. We got signed. We went on tour. We released another album. We did a cover of one of our favorite bands, and they loved it so much they put it on their YouTube channel, Triumph, Fight the Good Fight. We went on another tour. We're going levels higher. We went to Europe. Now, we know what happened to Europe, but let's just ignore that for now. That only happened after I reached up to the man and said, you take over. You run my ship. When I drive my car, I crash it into the wall. I said, you sit in the driver's seat. I'm going to get in the passenger seat. And that's what happened. And as soon as I did that, we took off. Now, here we are, an international band, an international signed band. The only reason that is the case is because of him. Like I said, you put the breadcrumb trails, we struggled and we trudged the first few albums. And it was just all of a sudden, it's all I had to do was reach up. And he grabbed Images, he held it, and he says, okay, it's time. He sent us soaring. Think about that. Love you guys. Promo at imagesofeden.com. Send us your questions. Take care.